Doon, doodaloo, doodaloo, doo, doo. It's NFL draft time, baby. We're having TLDR mock draft 2021 coming at you. James is going to lead us through picks 11 through 20. But first, I want you to know how good my jingle was.
That was fantastic, dude. That was probably the second best intro. That was good.
Best. All right.
Eric had one at the beginning of the NFL season a while ago. I don't know if you remember that, but that was
yeah, he did. He did.
That was a good one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this time around, we have Tyler instead of Eric. Eric sent me his picks very last minute, but he sent it anyway. And I'm pretty sure he has multiples in there, but it is what it is. Eric picked the same guy multiple times. Just a reminder, it's a mock draft and everybody has their own picks. But the winner of this, whoever gets the most right out of all the TLDR members, gets $25 from me. And if I win, I'd get nothing because I'm giving away my own money.
Well, we can pool together and give you the 25.
Oh, that's fine. I love that idea. This time, we're going to start with pick number 20, and that's with Chicago Bears. Traden, who are you picking?
All right. Coming in at 20 for the Chicago Bears, I have from Minnesota, Rashad Bateman. He's a wide receiver. I know that desperately – I think that Andy Dalton needs some more help. He needs another receiving option. They're going to load up on that wide receiver position, even though they need help on the offensive line. I know it's crazy, but I think they're going to take a wide receiver here.
Tyler.
Starting off hot, I picked the exact same guy as you did, Traden. So congratulations on that one. It's not the same one. Same thing.
Traden, that means you're wrong. Sorry, man. That sucks.
Yeah, brutal.
Alex, who you got?
All right, boys, you ready? We got a trade.
Oh, first trade of the day.
We got a trade. So I don't know the parameters of the trade. That's a problem for the executives to figure out. There'll be some later round picks involved, but the Bears are going to trade up to take the number 8 pick from the Panthers. So the Panthers are going to come down to number 20. So this is going to be officially the Panthers pick for me. And it's going to be Taven Jenkins, offensive lineman from Oklahoma State, because they have now Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater. They're going to want to protect those guys. So I have a trade going on. Let's say the Panthers get a future second round and a future third round pick to go along with it. 2023.
I would say that's pretty ballsy considering you can get like $25 for this whole thing. Yeah. That's a ballsy move, dude. Like,
yeah, dude, the odds of that happening are so low, but it is what it is.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm going big.
I think that if he gets that right, you got to give him like extra points if that's right, like all of it.
Yeah. So the Bears and the Panthers, and then so I will give my Bears pick next week because they'll have the number 8 pick.
Interesting. I'm curious to see what is the need that they need so much that they need a top 8 pick to do it. That's something you're going to answer next week to figure it out. So I did not have a trade to sell the Chicago Bears, taking with the number 20 pick. And with that pick, I went with Samuel Cosmi, a tackle from Texas. He's one of the most consistent tackles in the draft. The dude only gave up 6 sacks total in 3 seasons at Texas. Chicago has a good defense. They've always had a good defense, but they need help on offense. And with Andy Dalton as your QB, he needs time. The Red Rocket needs time to process. You saw him last year with Dallas with a shit offensive line. They didn't do too hot. But years prior, when he had the Bengals, they had an okay O-line, and then he did okay. He put up some decent numbers, and I think that's what the Chicago Bears need. So they're drafting Samuel Cosmi out of Texas. And Eric had the same exact thing as me, Samuel Cosmi. Number 19, the Washington football team. Tyler, who are you drafting?
I got Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. Get some more defensive depth on that team. Get some young talent along with those some good veteran talent on that team, and just keep building the defensive side of the ball there in Washington.
I like it. Alex?
I've got another trade. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God. Everybody's trading.
Everyone's trading. No, I'm just kidding. I have Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida, to pair with Terry McLaurin. Keep that. Their defense is legit. They were top 3 last year. Get that wide receiver core even better there in Washington.
Who was the wide receiver you said?
Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, Florida.
Wow, he's like not even on my board at all. That's a deep pick.
Yeah.
Tyler, trading. Sorry.
All good. From Virginia Tech, I got Caleb Farley, cornerback. Look, the Washington, line is incredible. Let's get that secondary elite. He is an elite. He's gonna make that defense like incredible. That's where they pick. They're gonna be the strongest defensive team in the league.
I went with wide receiver Rashad Bateman, which you guys had said last pick out of Minnesota. Terry McLaurin needs a complement. Terry McLaurin's a small, speedy guy, so they need a big body wide receiver to be a complement so that Fitzgerald can just throw a bunch of bombs everywhere. And that's exactly what this guy is. 1,200 yards last season and 11 touchdowns. Crazy numbers. Eric picked Christian Darrisaw, an offensive tackle, to add to an already elite offensive line, which it doesn't make sense, but that's
why though?
I don't know. Moving on to number 18, the Miami Dolphins. Alex.
All right, for the Dolphins, I have Creed Humphrey, center, Oklahoma. You now have Tua Tagovailoa, whatever the fuck you say his name. He's your thank you. He's your franchise quarterback. You got to protect him. So Creed Humphrey, center, Oklahoma.
Dude, your picks are just crazy because I've never heard of these guys before.
Awesome. We'll just wait for it.
From Clemson, I got Travis Etienne, running back. I think that Miami has a pretty solid roster. I think that they're gonna land they're gonna land this running back, and they're gonna be a solid team to beat.
Tyler.
I went on the defensive side here. Kwity Paye. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Edge out of Michigan.
Any reasoning behind that, or just that?
Just that.
Okay.
Sorry. Didn't have a depth one on that one.
I also went defense. I went with linebacker from Notre Dame, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. You guys had him. I know Tyler and Trayden had him last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't think he slips that far. He is legit the best coverage linebacker in this draft. The dude can also play slot cornerback, so he can play multiple positions. That's something that's needed in this NFL, especially now that the NFL is moving towards more of a passing league. At number 18, Eric had Jalen Phillips, who he thought was a tight end, but Jalen Phillips is actually a defensive end. He just wrote tight end for some reason. Eric doing Eric things. Number 17, the Las Vegas Raiders. Holy shit. Las Vegas Raiders. Trayden, who you got?
For the Irwindale Raiders. No, they were almost the Irwindale Raiders, which is where I'm from. I have from USC Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive line. I think that I think that they're gonna build that offensive line on both sides. Carr's gonna be. Eric, Derek Carr is gonna be even better than he was last year, and he was actually pretty damn good. So,
just so you know, Eric agreed with you. He also had the same exact pick. So go, Eric. Tyler, who you got?
I also went on the offensive line, but I went with Christian Darrisaw, Virginia Tech. I actually think Vera Tucker is going to be picked a little bit earlier, but we'll get to that later.
Huh. Okay. Alex.
I did not go with that. And as we said on how to fix the Raiders, they need defense. So I went with Christian Barmore, defensive lineman out of Alabama. He will fit into that defensive line. That needs to get after the quarterback because they were terrible at it last year. But that's what I got, James.
Tyler, it's crazy to think that he won't slip because I had Elijah Vera Tucker at 31 to the Chiefs. But for myself, I picked J.C. Horn, a cornerback from South Carolina. The Raiders' defense was awful last year. They're in desperate need of a quarterback. We said that multiple times before in the needs segment. I suggested to pick up Richard Sherman. They didn't do that. They still might. He's still a free agent. But J.C. Horn is an elite press corner. He only allowed 8 receptions last year and also had 2 picks. So I think they're going to go defense with this pick. Number 16, the Arizona Cardinals. Tyler.
I'm going to go with Greg Newsome, cornerback out of Northwestern. I think defense is one of their weaknesses. And they're going to try and build up, especially with the pass protection or pass defense. So cornerback, Greg Newsome, Northwestern.
Eric had the same thing as you, Tyler.
Woo.
Alex, who you got?
Well, this is going to sound dumb now because when I picked these, things had changed. But I had Najee Harris, the running back from Alabama, going here originally. And I'm going to have to keep it because I didn't have time to redo them. But since they have signed some running backs now, this is sounding kind of dumb.
I mean, the fact of the matter is James Conner might get injured in the next 2-3 weeks. Yeah. The dude's so injury prone, he might get injured golfing. Who knows?
You never know.
Traden, what do you
got? So this is where I disagree with you, James, because J.C. Horn's going to be picked up by the Cardinals at round 16. They're in desperate need of a cornerback, and he's going to play immediately, and that's where he goes.
So I went with defense as well. I went with Trayvon Moehrig from TCU as safety. But the thing is, he's not only a safety, he can also play as a slot cornerback, and he led the nation in pass breakups. So you pick a guy who can play multiple positions on the defensive side. I think that's the best place for him is the Arizona Cardinals. Number 15, the Patriots. Alex.
So the Patriots are known for picking some interesting players with some interesting backstories. So I'm going with Micah Parsons, the linebacker out of Penn State. He's got kind of a checkered history, I guess is a good way to put it. If there's anyone to get him set straight, that would be Mr. Belichick. They lost a lot of guys to retirement and people sitting out last year on the defensive end. So I'm going Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State.
Like it. Traden.
For Michigan, I have Kwity Paye, defensive line. I think that he's going to fit nicely with his explosiveness. He's going to fit in nicely with Belichick's system. He's a raw talent. I think he's going to fit nicely
there. Tyler.
Julian Edelman's gone, so they're going to need some wide receiver depth. So I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle out of Alabama. This is a guy I mentioned earlier, going to some different teams, but I think he's going to end up slipping down to 15 with the Patriots.
So you initially thought he was going to get picked number 5 by the Bengals, and now you have him picked as 15 with the Patriots.
That's affirmative.
All right.
Yeah.
What a job.
Stuff.
Great job.
10 positions.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Eric was on the same mindset as you. He went with wide receiver, but he went with Devonta Smith, which is crazy to think that a Heisman winner would drop to 15. But that's what Eric has, going to the Patriots. I also went with another Alabama product, though, from a QB out of Alabama, Michael McCorkle-Jones. That's what I'm going to go with. Bill Belichick is going to get his guy. The fact of the matter is, there's only about 4 teams that need a quarterback, Patriots being one of them. Picks ahead of them, like the Vikings, the Chargers, the Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys. They don't need a quarterback. So I don't think they need to trade up to get their guy. And Mac Jones just feels like the kind of quarterback that Belichick wants. He's accurate. He's not really much of a showboaty type quarterback. He's in the pocket, has great pocket presence, and will throw the ball where it needs to be. And that's kind of what the Bill Belichick offense is predicated on. It's one of those quick throws that are set up over time, hitting tight windows. And that's what Mac Jones can do. He's the most accurate quarterback in this draft. So I think I'll go to the Patriots. Number 14, Minnesota Vikings. Traden.
From Virginia Tech, I got Christian Darrisaw, offensive lineman. I think he's going to upgrade that offensive line. He's going to play week 1, I think.
Wow. Okay. Tyler.
Elijah Vera Tucker, I mentioned him going early draft. I think this is where he will land. The Vikings, like I said, I believe offensive lines where they need help, and I think they're going to select Vera Tucker out of USC.
Real fast, Eric had the same thing as Traden, Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle. Alex.
So Traden, I have Kwity Paye going here, D lineman for Michigan. The Vikings did not get after the quarterback last year. They're going to need to change that. So I have Kwity Paye, D lineman, Michigan, going at number 14.
I had also had a D lineman, but I had Christian Barmore, defensive tackle out of Alabama. The Vikings as a whole have some pretty good edge rushers. Historically, the interior rush isn't always there. The Vikings used to be really good at defense. That was kind of the calling card. Last year, it was the opposite. They were the worst at defense, and they suffered immensely. So I think that they got to show up that defensive line, work from the inside out, and build that defense again. This guy can rush from the inside. Like I said, he had 11 sacks from the interior. That's really hard to do. You're getting triple teamed in the interior. He did that. That's like Aaron Donald type stuff. And by the way, Aaron Donald's innocent. If you guys were following that story, the video said that way he wasn't there. So the accuser was just an idiot. But yeah, moving on to 13, the Los Angeles Chargers. Tyler.
So I'm going to go with the Heisman Trophy winner, Devonta Smith here. I do think he's going to fall. I just think other teams need different needs earlier in the draft. So I'm going to go with the Alabama wide receiver there, the Chargers. Hopefully, the Los Angeles is going to build a pretty nice offense there. So they're going to go with Devontae Smith.
Alex.
I also went offense, but offensive line. Justin Herbert is a franchise quarterback. You need to protect him. Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Washington, going at number 13 to the Chargers.
Wow. Traden.
Ditto.
Okay. I also went an offensive tackle, but I went with Christian Darrisaw, tackle from Virginia Tech. Dude didn't allow any sacks. Just like Alex said, you got to protect your franchise QB. Eric made a pick here that I disagree with wholeheartedly. Guy's an idiot. If he was here, I'd say it to his face. He picked Kyle Pitts. He thinks Kyle Pitts is going to drop to 13, which is insane.
Oh, my God.
That's the dude is on one. Maybe I should stop reading his.
That guy is going to be a force, dude.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's like a George Kittle, Travis Kelce hybrid. That's how good he is.
That's scary.
I'm very excited for him. Yeah. But he hasn't gone to 13. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, my God. Number 12, the Philadelphia Eagles, Tyler's favorite team. But Alex, you go first.
Yeah, so this is where I have the first, or I guess will this point be the last wide receiver out of Alabama coming out. So I've got Jalen Waddle here going to the Eagles, pair with Jalen Hurts, who's going to apparently be Patrick Mahomes next year. Throw back to Tyler saying that like 6 months ago. So Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama, going to the Eagles.
Traden.
Ditto.
Oh, my God. Tyler, tell me about your favorite team.
Yeah, what are the Eagles always? I mean, they suck at a lot of things, but one thing that they suck at pretty consistently is on the defensive side, pass defense. Okay, so they're gonna get a cornerback, and they're gonna go J.C. Horn out of South Carolina, get some young. I mean, he'll probably suck because I feel like every time they try and fix the cornerback safety situation, most of the time it doesn't work out. But I'm gonna have faith in it. They're gonna go cornerback J.C. Horn, South Carolina.
I'm blanking on his name. Jair Alexander. He was the best cornerback there was last year in the NFL, just so you know. I'm going to agree with Alex and Traden. I'm going to go wide receiver, but not Jalen Waddle. I'm going with Devonta Smith. He's an elite route runner. He gets open at will. He's going to be a huge help for the development of Jalen Hurts because he can get open at will, which makes reads so much easier. Eric went with Jeremiah Owusu, a linebacker.
Jair Alexander plays for the Packers.
Damn it, you're right. I didn't even. Yep, I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
That was a good one.
Moving on.
Wow. Who is that guy with crazy hair for the Eagles? He's a cornerback.
Ronald, what's his face? Darby?
No,
is that who
not
we're talking
Ronald
about?
Darby. He has like green hair.
I don't know.
I didn't watch the Eagles this season. They were so bad.
Wow, I feel like such an idiot. Wow, you're right. That was a big brain fart. Okay. Yeah, scratch that. Anyway, still going to go Devontae Smith from Alabama. Last but not least, we got the New York Giants at number 11. Traden, who you got?
I got linebacker Micah Parsons from Penn State. I think he's gonna, I think they've already addressed their, skill positions in free agency. So I think that they gotta fix the linebacker position, and I think that's their pick.
I agree 100%. I went with the same exact thing. All reports say he's the best linebacker to come out of the draft in years. The guy had missed only 11 tackles total in his college career. He has the pass rushing moves of an edge rusher as a linebacker, but also the coverage skills of a safety as a linebacker. This guy's insane. And I think the addition of Kelly Golladay kind of makes the fact that they don't need to get a wide receiver. They just focus on their defense. Tyler, what you got?
I got Rashawn Slater, offensive lineman of Northwestern. Get some offensive line help there in New York. They got a lot of things they need to fix, but we can start with that one.
Alex?
Well, James, you make me look like an idiot, but I think Devonta Smith goes here to the Giants. So wide receiver, Alabama, back-to-back picks.
Okay.
Pairing with Daniel Jones, that still makes that offense. That will make that offense elite. The NFC East is going to be terrible anyway. So,
Eric and Jalen Waddle from Alabama. That was his pick, a wide receiver. So he's on the same wavelength as you, Alex.
Well, that doesn't make me feel good.
Brutal. And that's 11 through 20. Stay tuned. Next week we'll go through 1 through 10, which is going to be pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, top 10 is always the most fun, and I'm really excited to actually. I mean, I'm always excited for the draft, but even more excited just to see who's going to win this draft. It's going to be a fun one to watch. So James, thank you as always, leading us through the NFL mock draft.